Hi, my name is MJ Norquist, and my fact proposition is on climate change. Climate change is happening, humans are causing it, and I think this is perhaps the most serious environmental issue facing us, said by scientist Bill Nye. Especially where we live, climate change is a huge problem because if temperatures keep rising, then sea levels rise, and at some point where we live will be underwater eventually. The sources I've used for my references are government ran through. It's NASA, so it brings in credibility since it's NASA doing it, and it's government websites, not Wikipedia. Paleoclimates today show that the current warming is occurring 10 times faster than that during the Ice Age, and carbon dioxide levels are increasing 250% faster than that of the Ice Age. Climate change has caused problems with our temperatures, increased natural disasters around the world, so hopefully aware of possible solutions and will help slow the pace of climate change. I'll be speaking on the effects of our temperature, increase in natural disasters, and prevention and solutions. The problem at hand is with the current trends of how climate change is occurring, life is going to be very different for future generations if we don't do something about it. Main point A, effects on our temperature. With the rising number of fossil fuels usage is causing more carbon dioxide emissions than ever before. And combat this with deforestation of forests, the effects on our temperature are the global temperatures are rising, oceans are getting warmer, as well as destruction of our ecosystems. As a fact, increase in carbon dioxide emissions, the planet average surface temperature has increased 2 degrees Fahrenheit since that of the 19th century, with the recent years of 2016 and 2020 being the warmest years ever. With all this increase, the majority of it gets absorbed by our oceans, which have warmed over half a degree Fahrenheit since the 1960s, depths all the way down to 328 feet or 100 meters. With the increase of temperatures in our oceans and our surface, as well as deforestation, our ecosystems are paying the price, whether that's the ice caps melting, the increased sea levels causing coral reefs to die, or the forest getting taken down to create land. The significance is that with rising temperatures and causing multiple problems around the world, not just for humans but for animals as well. Certain animals are facing extinction due to their ecosystem being completely destroyed, but with rising sea levels and coastal cities will begin to go underwater. Now let's cool it down a little bit and talk about the natural disasters that are starting to hit harder than ever recently. The increase in natural disasters are, as of recent news, have been plenty of natural disasters all over the news, whether that's hurricanes, typhoons, wildfires, and then eventually closer to home, the earthquake, the big one in the San Andreas Fault that's coming around. In just the last 2 weeks, we have Typhoon Merbok that hit Alaska, Hurricane Fiona in Puerto Rico, which proceeded to hit Canada and the Atlantic with tropical storms. Lastly, followed by and then Super Typhoon Noru, who hit the Philippines and followed into Vietnam through the China Sea. And lastly, followed by Hurricane Ian, which drilled Florida with catastrophic damages. That doesn't even cover how destructive wildfires were in Oregon and California over this past summer, as well as immense flooding in Saudi Arabia. That doesn't cover the big one that is long overdue that would cause so much damage to the western regions. Climate change is causing some of these, whether it's drying out land, which makes it so much flammable, or worse, to be able to control flooding. It's causing sea levels to rise and water temperatures to rise to have typhoons and hurricanes be able to gain more strength before hitting land. Now, since that we talked about the current effects of climate change, let's flip the narrative by hopefully trying to prevent climate change, or at least slow the rate that it's occurring at. Prevention and solutions. If we don't stop climate change, then our future generations will have a completely different planet Earth that was all caused by self-destruction. But we can help prevent it by mitigation and adaptation. Mitigation is the approach of reducing the flow of heat-trapping greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. With this occurring, hopefully it allows nature to take over and allows adaptations of ecosystems without human interference. Adaptations of climates now and future climates to prevent the usage of burning more fossil fuel that creates more carbon dioxide that could make it worse. Try to avoid using products that use a lot of energy and electricity without full use, like leaving lights on or driving cars separately with your friends instead of carpooling. If mitigation occurs, then hopefully our ecosystem begins to adapt itself and grow strength towards climate change, so it eventually reproduces. Adaptation will help slow down climate change by us being ready for it instead of wasting resources, so that we're able to like get ahead of the curve. Hopefully it'll bring down emission use. Hopefully this helps you with possible answers to what to do and how to prevent climate change. Now after conclusion, let's turn this into action. Hopefully aware of possible solutions will help you slow down the pace of climate change and rising temperatures and catastrophic natural disasters that have been occurring. I have shared the recent trending upwards of temperature and natural disasters as well as hopefully an answer to this worldwide problem. Hopefully climate change slow down a bit so that the beautiful state of California can be shared with future generations of our families. Whether it's donating to prevention charities or doing it yourself, find a way to slow down carbon dioxide emissions and spread it to family and friends to try and save our planet one person at a time. We are running the most dangerous experiment in history right now, which is to see how much carbon dioxide the atmosphere can handle before there is an environmental catastrophe. Elon Musk.